Alright, so I know I owe you a lot of videos right now. My bad. Uh, well, I have to cover this one. So about right now, a few hours ago, Elon Musk became the first trillionaire in history. Let me put this into perspective. Let me show you something. So let's put this in perspective. Here. So I like to use this to show how much a trillion actually is, because we actually don't know how much a trillion is. So, 11, no, 1 million seconds equals to 11 days. 1 billion seconds equals to 31 years. 1 trillion seconds equals to 310 centuries. That's more than that's way more than humans have been around in the planet Earth. So yeah, it's it's a lot of money. Now, to be clear, um, Elon Musk doesn't actually have $1 trillion in his pocket or in cash. No, it's his network. His network is equal to $1 trillion. How networks work is basically the things you own, the things you are related to, the words that things have. Yeah, so um, he doesn't literally has $1 trillion in his pocket, but at this point, does it really matter? So, what happened? And this is the thing that what I want to cover is the APO. APO means initial public offering. It's a time where a company goes public, meaning everyone in the planet can buy parts of those companies. From you and me. That doesn't mean before the APO, people, private investors or private companies can buy parts of the companies. No, that didn't mean that. Um, Private investors can buy stocks in companies even if the IPO didn't happen. In the case of SpaceX, um, what happened is really simple. Like, this is a clear example of Elon Musk changing the rules in time. So, I mean, let's put this into perspective. I am not going to. This is part of speculation, but I think this is related to. Um, the Joe Biden administration, he during that time he started to make more and more restrictions into Elon Musk companies, because if you didn't know, that's the something I want to cover in later. Many of the Elon Musk companies are not profitable. We're going to go that in later. Um, but thing is, like, he makes money via government deals. Yeah. So during the Joe Biden administration, he wanted to change those government deals. He didn't want to. That's why he went with Trump. But he not only to assure those deals will stay the same and will be even better, but also to make Dodge station that did nothing, that lasted nothing, and most of the things Dodge did were immediately changed back. But something that Dodge did is release and ended more restrictions and remove more regulations from Elon Musk companies. Then you have the cases of Twitter um, and the cannibalism between Elon Musk companies. For example, we have Twitter merged with XAI. Then we have SpaceX merged with XAI, turning SpaceX into a weird amalgamation of a company, because Space SpaceX, it's not, and I mean this, it's not just a rocket ship slash space company. No, It's also an internet company, and also an AI company, and also a data center company, and also a social media company. Basically, an everything company. The point I want to go around is many of all the companies Elon Musk have, or SpaceX covers, none of them are profitable. In the case, for example, Tesla, that Tesla is really not in the equation right now. In the face of SpaceX IPO, but whatever, Tesla, in that case, um, they right now stop making cars. They will not making. Well, they will stop making the Cybertruck. The two new cars were I cancel. They are making the regular cars, and the Tesla is not particularly strong in the cars market. Like, for example, that's a space for the Chinese market, the EVs, the IKEAs, the whatever. Um, beat Tesla. Like, Tesla is really not in the equation of big cars company, but whatever. They are right now going more into space stuff and building robots, not robots for companies like the Optimus robots, those ugly things. And that's the clankers. That's another topic for another day. Right now, in a nutshell, it's not really real robots. It's not real automatons. It's basically just um really expensive animatronics. But anyways, returning to Space XI, in that cases, none of them are called profitable. Grok slash XAI is not profitable. Actually, um, there's this website I found that is becoming very popular. I want to make a video just talking about that website, but um, well, that's for another video. In the case of XAI, since 2000 since 2023, they have invested into AI $20 billion, and they have and the revenue from those $20 billion is $0.8 billion. So basically nothing. Yeah, so basically nothing. Still other stuff that have happened in between the um and then you have, for example, Twitter or X, whatever. When Elon Musk bought Twitter, he was saying that by 2028, so in 2 years, the revenue and the users and whatever will be double or even triple. And then you see the reality in 2026. Right now, I see that actually the the company is underwater. They say fucking advertisements, fuck everyone. Everyone is leaving Twitter. 75% of all activity on Twitter is made by bots, and um, many advertisement left. Not many people are buying the blue check mark, and they say the whole company have lost from the revenue since 2023, 2022. I forgot when 2022 is when he bought the company. Yeah, since then. So Twitter is not making money, and is now not profitable thanks to Elon Musk. It was profitable after Elon. Right now, it's not profitable on Twitter. And then you have in the case of the SpaceX, the rockets, the whatever. Those things are not making money. Yeah, straight up, they are not making money. Actually, it's really funny because they scale back their whole strategy. They tone down the narrative of uh colonies on Mars, and now it's in colonies on the moon. We see it on the moon, and like I don't know. I am not a space guy. I'm not a science guy. Like that is an interesting topic. I watch some things time to time, but I'm not a science guy. But the fact that we were all celebrating that like a few weeks ago, that we are going a little bit further than the moon by the NASA. Yeah, we are far from colonies on Mars. Far from colonies on Mars. And that's something that he has promised since 20 years ago. So yeah, I don't think we are going to have colonies on Mars in my lifetime. But whatever, returning to topic. Um, the other thing in Elon Musk, SpaceX company, that is profitable is SpaceLink. That it provides internet to places that does not have access to cable or the of signal basically. Yeah. So the problem right now is when you open their IPO, um, you have to give a book. In that book, basically, it's like a document. In the case of SpaceX, that document has around 400 pages. In that, you have to basically give mission statements, visions for the future, revenue, whatever. And many people write it and say, "Hey, you are seeing things that are straight up fantasy, sci-fi. You know, conquest the universe, space, like interplanetary travel, space colonies, all AI data centers in space, all that stuff. In the case of data centers in space, like I think I cover that in my other channel. I mean, this one basically the problem with data centers in space. Like I say, I may say something wrong. I'm not an expert. Data centers need many things. Specifically, they need two things that are the most important. That is water and energy. In the case of energy, um, that's why they are taking too much from electricity grids or nuclear reactors, for example. Basically, the data centers is basically a full room of servers. Servers need computer chips, whatever, to generate the computer power. That computer power generates a lot of energy. That energy generates heat. And if you have computers, parts, data centers, whatever, in these spaces, overheating, you can create a fire, or you can make that straight off the GPUs, the data centers, the servers, burn out and stop working. So you need a way to cool that down. In the case, for example, something like a Xbox, a console, or your PC, whatever. That's why they have vans. The for to put air and that air to cool down the whole system. Now, in the scale of data centers, that really doesn't work. I mean, they still use it, but it's not enough. So that's why they need water. So they need water, clean water, by the way, because like I saw like one person say, wait, why? Like if they use dirty water, there's gonna be an issue, There's gonna be an argument, and they need clean water because one, clean water is easier to control the temperature, to have clean, to have cold water, and second is two things like avoid in the case of like dirty water, you have to make sure it doesn't have anything in the water, like trash or whatever. So that's another process you are avoiding. But also like um dirty water can like one imagine the smell like these data centers will be so smelly like straight up like no one will be able to walk into data centers without puking. And that's something that any company doesn't want to their $1 billion investment to smell like trash and shit. But whatever. The other reason is sorry, I am. Sorry. Anyways, is to avoid I don't know how do you say that in English, but to avoid the metal to that it's in the data centers to get rusty from all the bad chemicals, whatever. Because with daily water, like it's where like it's dirty, like you don't know exactly what it has inside it. Like maybe it has shit, maybe only has trash, but and trash, it's like what type of trash, like medical trash or trash from an apartment or trash from a hospital or kindergarten. It's whatever. The point is like they need clean water to cool down the servers, and also the demands, whatever. In the case of putting all that into space, you will say, well, that will fix the problem. From one side you will have the thing of the space is cold, so you have that figure out the part of the cooling, because space is freezing. And in the case of the energy, you can use a solar panel that takes energy from the sun. The problem is, for like I said, there's more videos that explain this better than I am. One problem is, for example, the case of the connection. The other problem is the cost. The other problem is, people, you have people to put an eye on everything. And the thing about using the cold coldness of the space and this energy of the sun to generate energy and to the systems is not something possible, or no, that's basically not how it works. Like I say, I don't like I know why not, but I don't know how to explain it well. So yeah, please watch somewhere on other people just to talk about that. Anyways, basically data centers in space is something that it's not possible. Straight up. Not that you don't have the technology. No, it's not possible. And that's something that is a statement. The whole statement in his IPO PDF is that is straight up um, fiction. Everything in this is fiction, is rigged, is like straight up they had to change the rules. Like something of the process taking years, 3 years, now it's taking 3 months because well they wanted to change the rules for Elon Musk. And now it's out now. Everyone is selling now. Like I was reading about that. The problem is if it's too high, the value of the initial offerings, people might not buy it. So because they will not buy it, like that could affect the overall sailing, whatever. Right now, like this is like everything's going to cost a lot, and the value, like the stocks from Tesla, from Elon Musk network, from SpaceX will go to the roof. These people, many people are saying like it's right now it's historic in the stock market because it's like the biggest APO exchange in history right now. This is really big. But the problem is, why do you how do you make this company that is not profitable this big? Basically, good dreams and basically a narrative. This is a bubble into itself. I really don't want to like this is big bubble week, like one of my guys says. So yeah, these are like everything Elon Musk is a fucking bubble. Like SpaceX a bubble, XI is a bubble. The how is managing the Twitter is also a bubble. But right now, honestly, that's something that really I don't want to invest too much. Because I already have too much in my plate with the AI, the clunker bubble. But whatever. Like we are going to like, for example, I want to recommend this video I watched the other day. Like straight up, I think this like please watch this video. I have a playlist of all the videos I use. Please watch them all. Let me see if I can find it. I'm going to make that list public really soon. I am looking right now for the. So there's this channel called Brendan Dale. So there's this channel called. Sorry, wait. And there is this channel I found the other day called Bendal Dale. Um, I was hearing him a few days ago to inform myself about this APO because I don't know anything about stock market. I don't know anything about all this. I want to be open and say I don't know much about this, so I inform myself and then I share this information with you. So I was hearing this guy, and basically he was talking about this case of a company known as Good Work. Wait, and basically would that happen? The sorry, Woodwork. And basically, what happened with the companies in 2019, they opened the IPO. They make a lot of money. 4 weeks, their IPO, their stock value went down, and the company was forced to close. Why does this happen? Because the stock market, wanted or not, is based on speculation. It's based on the narratives. It's based on vibes. Basically, you can really there's really like, yeah, there's people that are trying to think it's science, whatever. No, this is gambling, basically. In the case of Elon Musk, you have this a bunch of people believing everything he does, believing that he's a fucking saint, that he's a fucking genius and whatever. And you see that and you say, hey, I want the money. So you have this collective group of people that believe all this. Like, this is a thing, for example, like, you can go with any person in Wall Street, any person in San Francisco, and explain why the AI is a bubble, and they will not believe you. I think is yeah, you may be right about AI being a bubble, but they are the closest, like they are the AI closest to the scene. Like this is not like Elon Musk, the public figure. No, it's Elon Musk, his friend. His and God basically. So because of that, all because of all that, um, they believe this. They think the evaluation, whatever. In actuality, like many experts say, because SpaceX is not profitable, they say, yeah, this is an and remember, valuation, real value. Valuation is the idea that possibly, maybe in the future, it might be worth this amount of money. If you watch Shark Tank, I am really big fan of the early seasons of the Mexican Shark Tank. I really don't like the people in the United States version of Shark Tank. But if you watch Shark Tank, you hear these people that say, "Oh, I have a company and I sell, I don't know, gum, chew gum. I think my company has a valuation of $1 trillion or $1 million." And say, "Yeah, but what are your revenue?" I sell three chew gums to my dad. Yeah, that's a bad valuation, But the point is, the valuation is not something that, like, in the case of, for example, OpenAI, they say, oh, this is the fastest, the company that is grown the fastest in history. No, no, just because they are keep begging and begging and begging for, um, how do you say it? Begging and begging so much for funding, that doesn't mean they are worth. all the funding they have, the people have gave them. You know, many experts are saying that the actual value of SpaceX is in half. It's not 1.7 trillion dollars. It's 400 billion dollars. A lot of money, yeah, but not the amount of money these people are saying. So basically, this is all a bubble. What's going to happen next? Who knows? One of the fears about the SpaceX X IPO is the fact that maybe in a few days, in a few weeks, in a few years, months, whatever, they are all paying these stocks in the highest amount of prices right now, like in the hundreds, in the millions. Like the people that are buying these stocks, they say that they are paying the most. But what happens if the value they paid doesn't match the actual value of the company? Everything goes down. And this is the part that makes everyone worry. So even if you don't want to invest in XPXAI, the problem is if you have a retirement fund, if you are part of the 401k, retirement fund, whatever, all that, if, like, for example, the people that control your finances, specifically your retirement funds, 401k, NASCAR, whatever, they will automatically buy stocks from XAI at your name. Meaning, if the value goes down, the money you have saved from years will also go down. And the problem with, if the value of SpaceX going down also mean the whole stock market goes down. That's the fear. At least the part that I do not understand. Like personally, like I keep asking to people that know better, don't even know more than me, why or what. It's the thing is like, yeah, Elon Musk is trillionaire because of this. But if the value of SpaceX goes down, that will be a worse look, It will make him look like a fool, to be a trillionaire for a week, and then everything goes down. But whatever, it's really not something I will hold my breath into, because who knows? Like really, it's a word. Not who knows because we don't know the future. It's who knows because it's a word I do not know. What I know is it's a company that is profitable. It's all based on vibes. It's all based on a inflated valuation. Of course, it's going to burst. But whatever. The point is, and the reason why I'm covering this is the other two IPOs that will be coming in the near future, specifically OpenAI and Anthropic. Now, I have some good news about the whole. Um, Sorry, I am looking something about just about this topic. Like this other thing, for example, like sorry, I am right now because this just had like the Elon Musk becoming a trillionaire literally happening a few hours right now. Like straight up, like many things are happening right now. For example, Like I am seeing right now, like like this is live reaction. Like for example, they are saying that SpaceX will not get a fast track to join the S&P 500, for example. That they many that the S&P has rejected many proposals from joining the S&P 500. Like for example, like many like there has been forced for one for sorry $14 billion into buying SpaceX because of all these market changes that are happening right now. Like this is the thing. Like for example, in the case of some of the institutions, like some of the institutions are saying, yeah, be careful. Basically, like yeah, we want to be part of the S&P. Yeah, we are not going to make this as fast as you want to. But also like the I guess the individuals, the billionaires around Elon Musk are basically saying, well, actually, he's going to make everything 100 million times more in a few years. So you should buy it totally right now. It's really fucking weird. Like of course the millionaires are saying this because they are making money from this. Whatever this live reaction. This live reaction. Sorry, my bad. This live reaction. So I am looking at one of my guys. His name is Real Chris on YouTube. Chris Norlund on YouTube. So yeah, I like him a lot. He like for example, like let me show you this. Like this is from CNBC. Real retail investors in APO, and the hilarious part of it almost the retail. Sorry, I am quoting the reporter. The retail investors acknowledge, yeah, it's probably overvalued in the short run. Yeah, the valuation is high, but they all have this sense of kind of wanting a piece of this for the long run. I know it's a lot of people are saying to be part of the first and the IPO pop whenever they can kind of hang for the longer term because you can imagine what this company quarters results are. So yeah, basically are saying that it's overvalued. Like they are paying for something with an overvalued value, basically. Sorry, I am straight up reacting. Um, Yeah, for example, most of the value XAI has because of AI. So of course the AI bubble is going to affect them. But whatever. For example, of course the next step for SpaceX is to buy Tesla. For Elon to merge SpaceX and Tesla together to make a super duper company where they make robots and cars and internet and spaceships and social media and data centers and AI and whatever and ice cream and whatever. For example, let me read you this tweet. SpaceX and just did have the biggest IPO in history, like that's a fact, while having the negative revenue. They literally have no T/E ratio. It's based entirely on future hype, and that the future hype pans out only if Elon succeeds in buying our government to ensure that SpaceX gets all the contracts. So yeah, so basically is for example, look at this. This is from a network. Um, I don't show you. I don't know what network is, but the question is SpaceX Enron 2.0? If you don't know, Enron is one of companies that's push for the dot-com bubble. For example, in the equivalents from the dot-com bubble, the Enron of dot-com bubble and the Enron of the AI bubble will be NVIDIA, for example. Enron is the NVIDIA of the dot-com bubble, basically. And they are saying, yeah, basically, yeah, because it's overrelated, it's based on hype, it's based on hype without aura. Straight up, they are talking about having children and schools for children in the moon, straight up. I fuck it, CNBC Plus.
To the category of being an AI hyperscaler. In literally 6 weeks, they went from not in the game to $27 billion of AI hyperscaler revenue with big deals from Anthropic and Google. What is the one thing we can all underwrite? I think we can all agree Elon Musk and the team at SpaceX are as capable as anybody on the planet. Jensen has said they're number one at standing up terrestrial data centers, at standing up AI data centers. On my part,
So, like in the case of that Google and Rapid deal, that's a topic for another day. Basically, like um, Google and Anthropic are going to buy some of Elon Musk cloud services for their AI stuff, basically data centers. That doesn't mean um like Google and Anthropic are still by building data centers. Like that's not enough for them, but whatever.
Vast driver for the SpaceX TAM in their prospectus was the enterprise solutions for XAI, basically Grok, what the models produce, right? The software. And instead, they basically did a 180 pivot and said, we are going to lease out our capacity to Anthropic and Google. And that's the NeoCloud model, right? That's you're an equipment lessor. And that is a much lower value business in the marketplace than being a model company or a hyperscaler. And we've been following data centers for a long, long time. And basically, it's a finance business, right? You're buying the chips from NVIDIA, somebody else, and then you're leasing them out to Anthropic or it's a rate of return business. It's not a super high tech business. Yet 22 plus trillion of the 29 and a half trillion of SpaceX TAM in their prospectus is based on that business.
Right? And so he's talking.
Um, yeah, I already told you the name of the channel. He's a great guy. Please watch him. Yeah, yeah, like straight up. It's not based on. It's basically based on vibes. Like I like Elon Musk. Elon Musk has money. He's my god. So yeah, of course. So of course, like let's see what's happened in. So let's see what's happened in the near future. If the bubble bursts, if the bubble doesn't burst, but I really don't like. Yeah, I do care because it genuinely makes me mad. This day the channel I watch the. Please watch Kyle Hill Space Data Centers are done video. He explains the data center stuff. Um, the data center stuff way better than me. So yeah. Yeah. Um, really fast. The other like for example, like I have this new Mexican guy that also explained this. The SpaceX stuff is not whatever. Who knows? Like maybe it's going to burst, maybe it's going to crash. Who fucking knows? Whatever. The point that I also want to talk about this is AI and Anthropic. Like to end this video, AI and Anthropic wants to open their IPO soon. The thing is, like some things you have to show to the public and to the investors and to the basically to stock market to open your IPO to make your company public is to show your records straight up to give how much your revenue is, like real data. And if they do that, like this is the question, if they do that, if Anthropic and OpenAI show how much money they have and the revenue, they will say, hey, you are making nothing. You are not profitable. You know? That and many people are saying, smarter people than myself are saying, that the OpenAI and Anthropic open their IPOs so close together only means one of two things. They want to cash out as fast as possible because the money selling these stocks is real money, you know? So they want to cash up and this is going to burst the bubble, um because like this is the end game for the bubble basically. They cash up, they make all the money left they can do with the public offering, and then the bubble bursts because the records are open because the records are public, whatever. That's the two things that makes me the most intrigued about. And for example, people say it's clear that um fuck it's clear sorry it's clear that how do you say it? It's clear that they like it's weird that they are doing this basically at the same time. Like, Elon Musk, wherever. OpenAI and Anthropic open their IPO in the same time. It's weird, it's strange. This might make the bubble burst. Who knows? Depressing. But anyways, bye bye.